It's hard to believe that one of the most catchy, well-known dance-along songs, The Time Warp, is more than 40 years old. Richard O'Brien's hit musical, The Rocky Horror Show, shocked and delighted Australian audiences for the first time in 1974 when actor Reg Livermore pulled on the fishnets to play Dr. Frankenfurter. Craig McLachlan put his own spin on that role in 1992 and he's about to do it all again as The Rocky Horror Show hits Sydney and Melbourne for an anniversary tour. Monique Shafter spoke to cast members, old and new, and a warning, the cult classic is still rather risque.
How do you do, I see you've met my faithful.
Some of the songs from Rocky Horror are the best songs that Buddy Holly tragically never got to write. They're just great rock and roll songs.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
Back in the day, I mean, when Richard wrote the piece thinking it would last 3 weeks in a performance space in London, to think that 40 years down the track there are 3 generations of families coming to see the show.
It's astounding! Time is fleeting!
Oh, I'm so excited!
Do they know we're coming? No, they don't know we're coming.
No, they know nothing.
Surprise.
Not very much longer! I've got to keep control!
We all get into this?
We all do?
22 persons.
How'd you do? I see you met
I had a group of people who have just had a very boozy lunch.
Hey!
And they are the original Australian cast from 41 years ago. Craig, come and meet the man who originally wore those shoes, Reg Livermore.
I mean, it's 41 years ago that we trod the stage in the Rocky Horror Show, the original version, and to think that 41 years later we're all still alive, it's just big teeth.
Angelique, would you like to meet the original Columbia, Maureen Elkner?
How wonderful! I can't believe this is happening. Look at you, you're so gorgeous.
41 years ago, Rocky Horror was really a grown-up show. It was for the grown-ups because it was touching on areas that really hadn't been investigated in the theatre quite so openly prior. And so I always think that it was dark and down and dirty, and it had a really sort of seamy edge to it.
It was great when it all began. I was a regular Frankie fan. But it was
The experience, right from the moment you walked into the auditorium, was kind of almost otherworldly. And then, of course, when Frankenfurter appears, forget about it. It was just, what the hell are we doing here? What are we seeing? And
It was titivating, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people felt very naughty going, can you imagine such a thing now? I can't.
Yeah.
But there you are.
All right, gentlemen, I want you quite entwined again, if that's okay.
Leg up.
Yeah, leg up. That's it, lovely. That's the way, right? That's great. Yeah, on the money.
I don't want to embarrass my friend Reg, but I have loved Reg since I was a kid. I cut a long story short, as a young music student, kids would go in to learn a Sherbet song or a Skyhook song. The artwork of the album was enough for my guitar teacher to go, how about we look at this John Denver song this week?
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
When you just give yourself to it and you're standing there in the heels and the fishnets and whatever, it is the most wonderful and powerful feeling. It's yeah, I can barely articulate how exciting it is.
Well, nobody's going to ask you to play Hamlet afterwards, are they?
Certainly not.
No.
Alas, poor Yorick.
Is that an original
Right,
soundtrack?
over here.
It happens to be the original soundtrack.
I think the most shocking thing for me as a 24-year-old was my costume. We bought my costume from a sex shop. So I had a tiny bit of lace covering my nipples and a bit of heart-shaped lace covering my pussy, and I had a bare ass and an inch-wide suspender belt, some stockings, some very high-heeled shoes. When I said jump to the left, my tits were out for the rest of the dance.
One chorus of the time warp.